Right, so we have new details regarding the iPhone 14 series. We have screen protectors, cases, and also details regarding the selfie cameras on the front. And so let's delve into all of this, but first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so Michiko in the past did tell us we could see selfie camera upgrades for the whole iPhone 14 series. Now the main changes were going to be autofocus and also wider aperture on the front, and now we have another report echoing the same changes. And actually this report delves into the actual suppliers for all the camera elements in the device. For example, the rear cameras are going to be produced by Sony, which makes sense. They produce nearly all smartphone cameras, and the actual lenses are going to be produced by companies Genius and Largin, and the focus module comes from Alps and Luxshare. However, when it comes to the front-facing camera, LG Innotek and Cowell are going to be the suppliers, and actually this is the first time LG is producing cameras for Apple because they've had issues with previous Chinese suppliers and the quality of their components. So yes, I'm expecting big things with the selfie camera upgrades on the iPhone 14 series. Anyways, let's now move on to some leak cases and screen protectors for these iPhone 14s. And on the face of it, this basically echoes everything we know so far. For example, the camera bumps are enormous on the Pro models. The pill shape cutout is also relatively large on these phones and is going to be similar in size to the notch. And also, of course, we have the new max size. However, there are some other minute changes. For example, the volume and mute switch have been moved up by 4mm on the Pro models, and those larger camera bumps are actually larger by 2mm. Now, the only thing I'm doubtful about with this leak is a screen protector, because on the Pro models, the gap between the pill shape and the singular hole punch is pretty large and looks pretty odd in my opinion. And while in previous renders, they have been closer to each other, so I do think that part of this leak is inaccurate. Anyways, let's now delve into your thoughts regarding these iPhone 14 rumors. So David says, should I get the iPhone 14 series? I'm coming from the iPhone 11, or should I wait for the iPhone 15? And while I'm assuming you're referring to the regular 11, so yes, I do think the 14 should be perfect. Even comparing it to the regular 14 that's gonna get pretty minor upgrades, you're still getting OLEDs, the new design, better cameras, and also better performance. So yes, from the 11, the 14 should be a very nice upgrade. So AM7 says, is Apple going with USB-C on the iPhone 14? And unfortunately not. Rumors say the 15 is going to be the one that gets that, since the EU regulation for this in the first place is put in place in 2023. And I know many do care about this upgrade, but personally I could care less. I wirelessly charge my iPhone, so to be honest, I would be down for a portless iPhone. However, I do understand the purpose of a USB-C port because, number one, it's way more universal, a ton of devices already use it, and so having one port for all your devices is going to be convenient. But more importantly, as Apple promotes things like ProRes, which can create massive files that need to be transferred off the device, having Thunderbolt is going to be a massive upgrade for the iPhone and for those who use ProRes. And yes, I believe Lightning right now has USB 2.0 speeds. That's horrific. And so I can definitely understand why many are waiting for the USB-C port. So Athathan says, if the iPhone 14 Pros come in royal blue, it's done out. And yes, I would be down for another blue variant, but I do think we're seeing a different shade this year purely because we have had two back-to-back generations with similar blue colours, and so rumours are suggesting it's going to be a purple this year for the 14 Pros. And to be honest, if the colours look as great as the renders do on the internet, I might actually get this. So Evan Rogers says, Apple should ship a MagSafe cable in the box to get around the restrictions put in place by the European Union, and of course keep Lightning on the iPhone. Now I'm sure Apple would do that if they could, but the EU specifically says Apple cannot go portless, they have to put USB-C on this, and they can't use a proprietary wireless charging standard, i.e. MagSafe, And so yeah, I don't see that happening, unfortunately. And regarding MagSafe, one CTF Play says, colors for the MagSafe puck are cool, but he wants to see charging get faster with MagSafe and also have data transfer. Now, data transfer I don't see happening because the portless iPhone rumors are dead. Apple is clearly being forced to use a Type-C port instead, and so I don't see Apple ever giving us a portless iPhone. And well, without Apple going portless, there really is no point giving MagSafe data transfer abilities, since this will primarily stay as an accessory to the iPhone and not the main way of charging the device or of course transferring data from it. However, I do agree that we should get faster charging with MagSafe. It's very slow right now and it also overheats, and so I'm hoping Apple can fix that with future versions of MagSafe. And I'm sure that once MagSafe gets faster, many will adopt it. So Shamir tells us his thoughts on the pricing for these new iPhones. He says he only sees the Pros increasing in price, and the 14 should be $799, the 14 Max should be $899, the 14 Pro should be $1099, and the 14 Pro Max should be $1199. He also says that if the Pros increase in price, that would be a hard pill to swallow, and yes, I completely agree, the regular models really are not getting major upgrades, and so increasing the prices would be ludicrous. However, I do kind of hope we see a price decrease for the regular models because, as I said, they're not getting many changes. I mean, the regular 14 is going to be near identical to the 13, so decreasing the price would help justify buying these devices. And I'm not hoping for a massive reduction, but $50 less would be appreciated. And I'm hoping for price reductions with the regular models because I know for a fact Apple's going to do some messy conversions from dollars to pounds and rip us UK consumers off with these iPhones. They're doing that right now with the M2 Max to a point where it's hard to justify buying these Macs, and so I'm pretty anxious about UK pricing for these iPhones. I mean, based on the M2 Max, I'm expecting the price of the 14 Pro Max to be $1249 in the UK, which is £200 more than the 13 Pro Max. That's ludicrous, and it does seem likely, unfortunately, so yes, it's going to be very hard to justify buying these new iPhones here in the UK. Anyways, that's it guys, but if you have any other thoughts regarding the iPhone 14 series, let me know. Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video above on details regarding the iPad Pros with the M2 chip, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps!